Hello, my name is Tim with Marsgohome, and in this video I'm quickly going to go over the VHS emulation for Premiere, the Mogrt. Once you download it, you can install it, and if you don't know how to install it really quickly, it's super easy. Just open up Premiere, and down here in this little corner in the Essential Graphics panel, if you don't see that, just go to Windows, Essential Graphics. Come down here to the far corner, it says Install Motion Graphics Template. Click on that, navigate to where you need to go, highlight it, hit open, and it'll load it up for you. All right, so what I like to do with this is I like to take our footage, our real footage that we're going to be referencing, and it's the same footage we always do, and drop it in a timeline. Now this timeline is actually set to 460 by 480 at 2997. It's actual 4:3 real standard definition. And that's what this will work best in. And then you can always up-res from there. So once it's set, I like to throw that in here, mainly to use it as a reference for the beginning and the ends. And also it uses the audio, which I have this muted at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our motion graphics template and we're just going to drag it on to the timeline. And if we would like to, we can come to the very end here and just trim it. So we're just working with the length that we need. Let's highlight the motion graphics template and go up to our motion graphics panel here. And here we're going to have all our parameters that we need. Toggle down this replace media, and we're going to take the same footage that we're using here from the project bin here, and we're just going to drag this right into it. And it will throw our footage in there. And we're going to turn this bottom piece down. We're going to have all our parameters here for color. So just in case, maybe we want the highlights to be less, maybe we want the shadows to be less or more, bloom it out. Same thing with the whites, maybe the darks more. So that's the color. Same thing with the temperature here. And that just shifts the temperature of the look from warm to cooler. And the higher this number, the more flickery it will look. See, it's cool, then it's warm, then it's cool, and it's warm. It'll be faster, more of a strobe effect. If you keep it low enough, it's more of a gradual shift. So there's that. Down in the degradation, we can enable the color degradation. And this is just kind of messes with the white balance of things. You have the yellow, green, blue, and a custom. So let's bring this up. Best way of using this is keeping it at the very bottom here. And unfortunately in Premiere, it's not real-time previewing. So just think about this. It's kind of like the opposite of the color wheel. So if you're green, it'll be more of an red. If you're blue, it'll be more of a greenish yellow. If you're red, it'll be more of a blue. So if I just pick purple here, keeping it at the bottom, it should give us more of a green. And the closer to this corner here, it won't be as strong. So there you go. You can really dial in the color if you'd like, or keep it off. The static full frame is just that. It kind of gives it more of a crunchy look. It does animate. The grain full frame is the same thing. Gives it more grain. Ghosting kind of gives it that hazy effect. And then the extra elements here is kind of like the tape warp. Tape warp is what travels from the very bottom to the top. You can enable it. It's really subtle. And if you like you can see it right there. See it travel from the very bottom to the top. And you have an option to turn it off or on. The tape full frame wobble is just kind of like the waviness of the entire thing. Kind of gives it that weird fluttery feeling. If you turn it all the way down to 0, it should turn it off. The static pops is like the white pop lines that kind of show up. Really turn it up so you can really see. I wouldn't recommend going this high, but you can see what happens. So you can make it as subtle or as strong as you would like, or you can turn them off completely. The tape smear is, let's see if we can find a good spot here. Right here, you see there's a smearing that travels from the bottom to the top of the frame. And this should go every 10 seconds, I think it is. Yeah, right there. You can turn it off if you like. So it just travels through the frame every 10 seconds or so. All right. Down to the frame elements. You have a choice to keep the frames on the side, left and right, or get rid of them. The top saturation, sometimes the chroma of the tape kind of wears out at the very top here, or it's reading it off the drum weird. There's a little top desaturation here, and you can turn it off or turn it on. Same thing with the top colors. Maybe there's a little bleed in there from the green channel. You can keep that there, or turn it all the way off for 0. I like to keep it subtle. The very bottom, you have some colors that you can turn off and on. Same thing as the top. The video errors is this strip right here. If you don't want it, you can turn it off. We have our static lines here at the very bottom. Turn this off so you can see it. The amount and the frequency. Obviously the amount is how thick that line is. It's easy to go overboard on a lot of this stuff. Let's go down to the camera text. If you don't want camera text on it, you can just disable it. There are 4 different styles, presets in here that you can use. You have the style 1, which basically is the time of the day is at the left bottom here. Style 2 is to the right. Style 3 is if you have the VCR mono font installed, which I'll put links along with this project file for that. You can download it, it's free, but you can use those if you like. Same thing with style 4, just pushes it off to the side. It says there's a custom here, but unfortunately this only works in After Effects as of right now. Go back to style 1. The time is you can enable the time. Maybe you just want the date. You don't want the time. If you do, you have a choice between AM or PM. This does count in real time. So if we move all the way up to pretty much close to 5 minutes here, that's how long this comp is. It will move close to 5 minutes. You can speed up the time if you'd like. Maybe time is just really speeding up. But if you keep this at 1, that's real time. If you want it to be stuck at whatever time it is, turn it to 0 and it won't change at all. The start time, so say it is 3 o'clock and it's 3:27. This will also continue to count in real time. So whatever your starting time is, it will be in real time. Moving down to the actual date, you have a choice. You can turn it off if you like, keep it on, choose whichever month you would like. Say it's June, whichever day you would like, June 15th, and the year. Here's the camera details, which is up here, this standard play and the tape length. You can turn it off, keep it on. You can choose from standard play, long play, super long play. Same thing with the tape length. We have T30, which is 30-minute tapes, 40-minute tapes, 60-minute tapes, and even 120. That is pretty much this Mogrt for you. If you would like, for some reason, you want to add more footage to this or just edit the actual footage inside here, you can open up this replace media and double click on the image there, and it'll bring up pretty much a little nested comp, and it'll have the entire thing in here. And you can add more things in here. You can just have as much fun as you would like. Then you can pop right back out and it will all be in here. So that's how that works. If you downloaded the actual pack with everything, this also comes with 16 different audio files, 8-bit and 16-bit. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and drop both of these in here. And really quick, let's go up and pull up a parametric EQ. And I'm going to do this really quick. Let's drop this down to like 4,000. Maybe this to 60, 50 or 60. Turn this on. Something like that. Here it is.
Baby daddy, do you wrong?
So let's open these up. Now I have a bunch of samples in here. We have noise, noise low, noise mid, noise static, tones, bad tones. So let's go ahead and put some mid noise in here. And we'll just sample this real quick. Kind of like that tape hiss. And let's throw in some tone. And we may need to get some. Let's go ahead and drop that down.
Baby daddy, do you wrong? Baby daddy, do you wrong?
Now you can also put in, say, let's get rid of that tone. Let's put in a bad tone. Something's wrong with the player itself. that's what all these are for. And there's 8-bit and 16-bit. You can almost get away with using the noise tone. But there's all sorts of samples in here that you can use to help give you that VHS sound within Premiere. So I hope all this helps you out. I hope you do some creative stuff. If you found any of this helpful or useful, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel a lot. You know the thing. Until next time, young scholars, stay rad, stay cool, stay creative.